Erica and I went and saw Fantastic Four last night. We were both very excited about it. We thought, this time they're going to get it right. I was very disappointed in the film.
Get used to disappointment.
Okay. Yeah. See, it starts off very lighthearted. It's set in this 60s, mid-century modern type Earth. And we get a little introduction to them. Well, first it opens, Sue Storm's pregnant. Okay. Then we get this long, way too long stretch of introduction to the characters. Where it starts out okay, you got your Mark Gatiss playing a sort of 50s TV host, and he's going over their history, and we get some nice footage of them pre-Fantastic Four when they're heading off on the first manned space mission. And then when they come back, we get a long montage of them defeating the Mole Man, defeating Red Ghost's gorillas, doing various things superhero wise. Ben Grimm saving a ship by pulling it to shore, and then there's footage of Sue Storm heading up this charity and speaking before the United Nations, and Reed having a kids science show where he doesn't understand how to talk to kids about science to make it interesting. And you've got one of the scenes I liked was Ben going back to his old neighborhood, Yancey Street, where he grew up, and he's on a first name basis with their. Kind of reminds you of like when Rocky went to the market to get stuff for his restaurant in the Rocky Balboa movie, and everybody knows him and they're all friendly. And he meets Natasha Lyonne's teacher, which kind of took me back because I was expecting him to run into Alicia, his usual girlfriend from the comics. But I thought that's who it was at first, but she's not blind and that's not her name. And then we get this tonal shift about a half hour in, where the lighthearted stuff goes away, and Silver Surfer arrives and heralds the coming of Galactus, and so they all hop on board a new rocket ship, and they go into space where they've got this giant hyperspace link thing. No explanation of how it got there. No explanation. Did Reed build it? Did he put it up there? This is only the second manned flight, so but then they travel to, they trace the Silver Surfer back to Galactus and see him actually devouring a planet from the inside out. Very cool scene. And they meet Galactus. Well played, I must say. Puts to shame the giant sentient cloud from the second Fantastic Four movie. And he makes them an offer. He'll spare the planet in exchange for their unborn son. Which they say no, of course. And then they big escape and a chase, and then they make it back to Earth, and Reed stupidly tells them what the deal proposed was, which gets everybody to hate them. Why don't they just give up their son? And then Sue and Reed have this argument in which Reed was actually considering the giving up Franklin. But then he comes up with another idea, and I'll just leave it there. And the tonal shift bothered me. And a lot of stuff kept pulling me out of the film. I just couldn't really, after that first half hour, which I think should have been trimmed down a lot. This is a 2-hour film. They didn't need all that stuff in the front, and it was too much information and too much character building that really didn't play in much with the rest of the film. And you've got like this section where Johnny, happy-go-lucky Johnny, digs down and works out from a 3-word phrase how to translate all of the Silver Surfers' actual home language, because they had a bunch of these recordings they had received or they had taken from subspace messages that they kept picking up from one of Reed's devices. And he's never demonstrated that kind of intelligence before. It comes out of the blue. But I understand Johnny doesn't really have much to do except flame on and fly around. The main focus is Reed and Sue, and I really stop knocking stuff over. I really didn't see how awe-inspiring Sue's speech was to the world that got them back on her side. And I mean, special effects were good. Really liked Galactus. He has this great line where they have this trap set up and he's about to step into it, and he stops and he looks down and says his best line in the entire film. Smart bugs. Other than that, everything he said was a big cliche. He wants Franklin so that he can. Franklin is a spiritual successor to him. That he will give Franklin all of his hunger to consume worlds, and then he will be free to rest and not have to travel and do all this anymore. I'm like, yeah, okay. But a lot of cliches in this film. A lot of cliches. A lot of the speeches that Galactus gives, very standard villain speeches. I did like him going through the city. I mean, the special effects for him are really good, and the actor for him was well cast because of that humongously deep voice he has. But I just didn't find him that threatening, really. I mean, me personally. Maybe that's because I kept getting pulled out by the things going on. Oh, is Ben Grimm Jewish? Yeah, he goes to synagogue at one point to meet Natasha Lyonne when the world is about to end. And then, and there were like characters that would shift. Like, Reed and Subin having these arguments, and then suddenly she shifts and she's willing to go along with using Franklin as bait, and Reed isn't, and she's mad at Reed. But plus, after the big baddie is taken care of, the film doesn't end. It goes on with a pointless comedy bit where they're having trouble getting Franklin's baby chair into the Fantasticar. And you know what? This felt like basically a film-long setup for Avengers Doomsday, when they have the after credit scene where you get a glimpse of Doctor Doom. I mean, the acting was all good. It was just the character sucked. And God, this was so uninspiring.
Just because something isn't good doesn't mean it's bad.
It's not a bad film. It's just, okay. Much like I Know What You Did Last Summer, I'd just catch it on streaming. It's not worth going to see in the theater, in my opinion. I know there are a lot of fans that really like it. New rock stars, he loves it. Going down through all the Easter eggs, but I just didn't really care. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.